So this is like the start of the new week, right? And we're already seeing a lot of things coming out in the world of gaming, and it's interesting because this one really shocked me when I saw this. It was a rumor coming out that uh, that Sony is going to be doing a Horizon Zero Dawn remake. At first, it was let me bring it up here. At first, it was like, here's the title. This article comes from IGN here. And basically, Horizon Zero Dawn PS5 remaster reportedly in the works alongside a multiplayer game. Of course, we don't care about that. But going down here, they even talk about how um, a remaster is reportedly in the works for PS5, and it's also going to be on PC. But it's like, have you guys forgot that like you already came out with a PC port of this game and you can run it at max settings? Have you also forgotten that like you guys, Sony, you guys made the upgrade, the PS4 upgrade to PS5 where you can run it at 60 frames? Like, did you forget about that? It still looks good through that upgrade, and then PC was an amazing experience because you can again have it at max settings. I got to experience it on PC. I remember when that game first dropped. I did wait for a little bit of a price drop because it was on sale at the time, so I was glad to get it at that price point. But I got to experience it on PC, and it was a phenomenal experience. So, why the hell they're doing this? I didn't know, at least at first, anyways. Because if we look on here, right around here, this remaster, much like The Last of Us Part 1, and I'll talk about that in a second, looks to potentially be part of Sony's plan to remaster some of its games that are set to become adapted for TV and film. So much like The Last of Us, that's coming. That's got its own little TV series coming out, or it's already out now. I don't know. I don't keep up with that stuff. I just know I've heard about it. But Sony remade from the ground up The Last of Us Part 1, which, think about that. Like, that's a game that came out in 2013. I think it was 2013 on the PlayStation 3. You can actually buy that game used at any retro store for like less than $5. It goes for like, I think 3 or 4 or something like that, but like 5 max. Like, it's crazy. Like, and it still holds up really well in my opinion. Now, later on, if you don't know, Sony brought that game onto the PS4. They remastered it, much like they remastered the God of War 3, which looks amazing, even though God of War 3 on PlayStation 3 still holds up really well, in my opinion. I know because I still have it. But either way, they gave us a little bit of an upgrade on the PlayStation 4. So it's like, I feel like that was a waste of time, but I get it. They wanted to advertise it more so that like they can get more of an audience for their TV series that they got going. And I think even like Twisted Metal is getting a TV series, but this is crazy how all these different like gaming IPs are getting television series. If this should be a from the ground up remake, we'll have accessibility features, graphics modes, and quality of life improvements to the gameplay itself, basically comparing it to the newest one that came out, Horizon Forbidden West, which I still want to play that, and I hope to God it comes on PC sometime soon, because yeah, with the potential like Returnal coming on now and Sackboy now being on, it's on the Steam page now. You can go check that out. So it's interesting to me. Let me go back. I didn't have it up. I didn't have the article up here. My bad. But yeah, it's just crazy how they're doing this. I don't think it's necessary to have a brand new Horizon Zero Dawn remake. I think it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of resources, you know, all the manpower that's going to go into it, when they could really put all that effort into some new IP, right? I think that they're just scared. I think that they're scared about trying something new because it's not going to gain as much of an audience. And then here's another example right here. It says it. They did the same thing with Cyberpunk. Look at all the downloads that have been going on recently on Steam. You can check the numbers. Like, they're going up a lot more because of that anime or whatever it was that came out, because that's been getting a lot of attention, and people who don't know, are like, oh, there's a game for this. Let's check out the game because that looks interesting now. So it was kind of a pretty brilliant way to advertise that game, even though when it came out, it was a complete mess. Like the console versions were like 64 quality, and then like the PC version was like at most like sixth generation. It was such a disaster. I mean, I know they've improved on it more over the years. I still would love to play that game, but I'm not there yet. I'm not going to dive into that game right now. I know there was a sale on it, but it has now passed and it's back up to $60. And speaking of price points, that's the thing. If they do this remake, much like The Last of Us, they're going to crank it to a $70 price tag. Is that really worth it? Especially if you played it on your PlayStation 5 with the upgrade, or if you played it on PC like I was able to. What's the point? Like, I just feel like it's a cash grab for these companies, and others will definitely pay attention to this for sure. And they'll be like, ooh, we can just dive into the vault of all these old games we released, whether it was last generation or the generation before, and just slap a few new things on it, new coat of paint, whatever you want to call it, and then re-release it. That's money in their pocket, and people will stupidly buy this shit. Like, I don't know, man. I thought it was kind of a good thing back then, like years ago, back in the day, where like, yeah, it's nice to see those games return, sure, but if they're gonna charge you full price, then that's kind of a ripoff. Like, that shouldn't be the case, in my opinion. There was another game that somebody brought up, and I fully agree with them. Shout out to Rich or Review Tech USA. He brought this up too, and I fully agree with him on this. That he was saying, like, there was another game from the PS3. Why don't we get a remake of Resistance? There has been no love for that series. That game series has only been on PlayStation 3. It never came up to the PlayStation 4. I can't speak today. It was only released on the PlayStation 3, never came out for the PS4, and honest, we don't have anything for PS5. At the very least, they could have, put some effort into remastering it for the PS5. I don't know if they've brought it on their online service. I can't say because I don't have the console, but I don't really want a console at this point because, like I said, if all these games are going to be on PC, ported on PC, that's where I'm going to be getting it. I mean, hell, even Miles Morales is going to be coming out on PC, but that looked pretty interesting because I never did play that one. I've played through with the Spider-Man game, the first one, but I've seen little bits of Miles Morales, but I never got through that. But that's cool that they're bringing it on PC. So this to me just screams like, I don't know. It's just Sony's way of trying to get more attention for a game that's not even that old, because that came out in what, 2017, Horizon Zero Dawn. And like I said, I've already experienced it already, and PC was the best way to go, honestly. I mean, if you have a PS5 and you get that upgrade, that's still a good experience too. It's better than playing it in the original on the original console, the PS4, at 30 frames. Now you've got double the amount, so it's going to be a little bit better of an experience. And the gameplay is going to be solid too, because obviously it's no different than the PC version, just in terms of visual fidelity, frame rate, and all that stuff. Like, it's PC is the best one. So yeah, I just seen this pop up, and I couldn't believe that Sony was actually considering doing this, or that they are going to. I don't know. It's still kind of like a up in the air type of deal, but I don't know, man. I don't really see the point in all of this, other than the fact that Sony's just really cashing in on this IP, and there's no reason to do it. I will say this right now, that Nintendo is very notorious for this. I mean, Nintendo over the years, God, they've been re-releasing so many different things for the Switch now. It is insane, and somehow they can get away with it because it's Nintendo. Um, I don't understand it. They charge full price for this stuff, and just all they really do is just improve a few little things here and there, and it's just like, I could just play the originals on original hardware, or I can emulate it, whatever, and it's still the same thing. It's, in my opinion, but Anyways, what do you guys think about this? I just kind of thought this was like a waste that Sony is now diving into, but they're still probably going to do it anyways. But what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments section below. And thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one.